So, in regards to the automotive industry, there's going to be a ton of different impacts, especially passed on to the consumer. So, currently, with the 25% tariffs from Canada and Mexico, as well as the 35% with imports from China, although these won't be enacted until April 2nd, these are still a huge impact if they do eventually implement and integrate into the US market on April 2nd. This will be a huge impact. So, just going over some of the specific increases that could impact due to these high import percentages. So, according to a study by AEG, this could drive up to a $12,200 increase for BEV vehicles. So, just going to the bottom of here, kind of discussing some of the specific increases that could be caused due to these tariffs. So for a BEV, 12,200; for a full-size SUV, 9,000; for a pickup truck, 8,000; and then a small car, 6,200. So these, if you look at it from a consumer standpoint, these are pretty high increases, right? So say you go to, buy a specific Tesla, for example. Those are normally coming in at 35, 40,000 for just a normal model. So adding an extra 12,200 to those battery electric vehicles, it's a pretty large increase, and this could definitely stray consumers away from going to purchase some of these new vehicles. So going into some of the points on the slide here, so potential loss of sales. So consumers are going to find different ways to make purchases for vehicles. So whether this be the used car sale market or buying from somewhere that isn't the dealership. And this could have a huge impact on the OEM dealerships, because if people aren't buying the new vehicles that are coming in, they'll just be sitting on the lot, and eventually, they won't be selling. And this would be due to these high increases from all these tariffs. And it could cause OEMs to find new ways to import, right? So rather than having Mexico and Canada to have these production facilities and assembly there, they could import from different countries and have new plants there, so then the tariffs wouldn't be impacted from that. So that's another loophole that OEMs might eventually look at if these tariffs persist. So with these tariff exemptions, so as I stated before, these will be enacted April 2nd. These were delayed due to Trump saying that they must meet the USMCA requirements. So 50% of Mexican imports, as well as 38% of Canadian imports, are covered by USMCA. So this is specific free trade agreement, which is within the U.S., Canada, and Mexico borders. So this is something that, if these tariffs persist and they are enacted April 2nd, these increases as shown here could actually become a reality. Obviously, this is not super accurate yet, just because these tariffs haven't been enacted to the automotive industry. But if they do, this is projections of the increasing in price. And this could definitely impact our OEMs, especially in the US. As you can see here, Ford CEO Jim Farley states that long tariff periods would essentially wipe all the profits that Ford has. So understanding that, I mean, that's pretty large, right? Understanding all these specific tariffs and how they would wipe profit for one of the largest OEMs in the world, and thinking about it from a GM and Stellantis perspective, as well as Toyota, some of the other OEMs that are in the US as well, this would impact and decrease a lot of their profits. And this would maybe impact the labor force, more layoffs, plants, things related to that. And I know within this section, we'll talk more about the plant related items, as well as some of the issues that USMCA as well as tariffs could cause on these plants.